After 158 days, Trent Alexander-Arnold returns to Anfield for the first time tonight, following his summer move to Real Madrid. What sort of reception will he get? What sort of reception does he deserve after winning it all at his boyhood club? If the lead up to his departure anything to go by, it's anyone's guess. It's a Sky Sports FC debut for former Chelsea midfielder Jody Morris. Good morning to you, Jody. Great to see you. Firstly, what sort of reception do you expect him to get? And what sort of reception do you think he will get? What he should get?
I expect him to get a mixed reception. I think there'll be plenty of fans in that stadium that want to clap him, want to let him know how appreciative they are for what he done for the football club. But I also think that there's going to be some fans in there that are still slightly unhappy in the way and the manner in which he left the football club. For me, I think he should absolutely get a good reception. I don't think the way in which he left, or a couple of things that happened before he left the club, should erase everything that he's achieved and what he's done for a club for so many years. I just think it will be mixed, but for me, it should be a good reception.
Well, it is the subject of one of our polls this morning about the reaction that Trent Alexander-Arnold will get at Anfield tonight. Will Trent get a positive reception at Anfield tonight? And you can see that no, very much so. 76% saying no. Now, if he doesn't get a good reception, which sounds like he won't, Jody, is that fair enough, given that he did leave and he left for, well, he was leaving for free. Eventually, they got 10 million for him because Real Madrid wanted him for the Club World Cup. But is it fair enough to say that fans, if they want to boo him, they can?
Yeah, that's one thing that you always have to give the credit to the fans. They're the paying fans. They're the ones that are turning up and are inside the stadium. Now, listen, I've got to say, I think Liverpool are some of the best fans we have in this country. And that's why I personally would be slightly disappointed, because I do think that they're a quality bunch of fans up there in that stadium. They get behind their players. But I suppose the flip side of that is, you'd have to say, is that that's their right then, and because of the way in which he left, then that's why they're so, I suppose, annoyed, or some of them even heartbroken in which the way he left. So for me, it's their right. And however it goes, whether it's on the plus side or the negative side, I think that's how it is. They're the ones that are at the stadium, and they're the ones that have paid their money to go there. So however way it goes is how it should be, because they're the fans.
Well, at the top there, we heard Arne Slot's voice there saying that he will give Trent Alexander-Arnold a warm welcome. He didn't ask the fans to do the same. It sounds like he knows what's coming as well.
Yeah, and I think he's probably playing a little bit of the game of where they're at the moment. They're not exactly singing Arne Slot's praises either at the moment with what's going on at the football club. So I think he's probably played the game a little bit there and said he'll give him a warm welcome, but he probably don't want to annoy the fans anymore at the moment than what he has done with their performances. So he's probably sticking to himself and knowing that if the fans want to give him a bad reception, then he's not crossing paths with them as well.
Yeah, on a separate note, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, just, footballing terms, how much do Liverpool miss him? Because some of this has been through injury, by the way, but no one's nailed down that right-back slot, whether it's Frimpong, Bradley and Szoboszlai has played there as well. So I suppose part of it is that they miss him.
I think they do. I think they certainly miss him in possession of the ball. When you're talking about the quality that he brings to the football club, on the pitch to a football team, is from a passing aspect, there's not many better that you can pick. He helps control the game from being in possession of the ball. But also, if we saw Trent Alexander-Arnold defend like some of the defending this season, and that's from everybody in the back four, not just your fullbacks, your Kirkezes or Frimpongs, Bradley, Szoboszlai, even the two centre-halves. If Trent was defending how they've been defending this year, we'd be hearing a lot about how much he can't defend. Yet those other players in that back four don't have half of what he had in possession of the ball. So, I think they do miss him. And I think this season has kind of proved a little bit with that. Not just the defending aspect, but certainly in possession of the ball.
I think we need to hear from a Liverpool fan, don't we? Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan that QR code on the screen or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. We'll speak to Liverpool fan Nayan Chowdhury now. Good morning to you. Let's get straight to it. Would you boo Trent? And if so, why?
Yeah, I think that is the biggest question of the game. From a personal point of view, I probably wouldn't directly boo him. But if the stadium were starting to boo, to create a bit of hostility, I probably will join in. And that's not probably for Trent per se, it's just to build up the atmosphere, to get our players going. At the end of the day, I'm going into that ground tonight to support Liverpool. That's my main objective.
But booing an opposition player isn't supporting your club, it's booing the other team, someone who is actually a Liverpool fan.
But I'm creating hostility. At the end of the day, ex-managers, ex-players, current players have said how hostile Anfield is, especially on a European night. And if the fans are booing, I will boo to contribute to that hostility. If that makes him misplace a pass, if he does play, that's a big question as well, if he does play. If that makes him misplace a pass and gives it to Gakpo and he cuts inside and has a go, then I'm going to do that for the benefit of my own team, because I'm going in there expecting Liverpool to win, and I'm going to help and contribute to be that 12th man.
What reception will Xabi Alonso get?
I'm assuming he's going to get a positive one, because, and I know the next question is going to be, well, so why is Trent not going to get one and why is Alonso getting one? But you've got to realise, Alonso's not a boyhood Liverpool fan. He left because he wanted to leave and go on to better terms. We weren't exactly in the greatest spells during that period when he did leave. But we were on top of the world.
Does that not make it worse, though? Does that not make it worse? Because he didn't stay to make you better. He said you weren't in a good position, whereas you were when Trent went. Surely it's worse for Alonso to leave when you weren't doing so well.
It's similar in my case when Suarez left as well. I held my hand up and said, look, he's far too good for us at that moment in time. You deserve to win trophies. And a lot of Liverpool fans, probably every single Liverpool fan, put their hands up and said, look, you're too good for us. Go and leave. Go and win your trophies that you deserve. But then now, when Trent is leaving us after we've won the league, we want to go on and win another one, win the Champions League. You're leaving us on a free, for 10 million. It doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well at all.
Nayan, see the fact that he's a boyhood Liverpool fan, shouldn't that work in his favour?
But then, in Liverpool, you have a sense of community and a sense of togetherness that I don't think many other clubs have. And if you're basically abandoning your community, then if you are a boyhood Scouse, a boyhood Liverpool fan, whilst we're at the top, you feel like, OK, well, I'm going to go now. But you got to realise that the team and the players and the club that have built you up to that position to be who you are as well. It's a two-way street. He's given us a lot, but we've given him a lot as well.
I have great memories on the player and on the human being.
When I see him, he's obviously a friend of mine, so I will give him a hug, of course.
He has to have his own feelings and he has to enjoy it as well his own way.
I can remember multiple great moments of him wearing the Liverpool shirts. How our fans will react, I have no clue how that's going to be. But he gets a warm welcome from me, that's for sure.
So former Chelsea midfielder Jody Morris is with us until midday. Jody, in the last hour we discussed this in depth, but for those viewers who missed it, what are you expecting from Trent Alexander-Arnold tonight in terms of the reception he gets?
Mixed. I think it will be mixed. I think that there's so many fans inside that stadium that appreciate what he done for the club, loved him as a homegrown player, loved watching the quality in which he brought to the football team. But you can't help but ignore the fact that there certainly are fans, particularly those that are based in and around Liverpool, that are disappointed in maybe his actions before he left and the manner in which he left. And I think that's fair, to be honest. The only thing that I would say is that I wouldn't want all those little last couple of months before he left to kind of erase and totally forget about what he done for the football club. He was a great servant, someone who'd been there from such a young age, and as I said, he's a homegrown player, and I'd like to see him get some form of a warm welcome.
Well, loads of viewers and fans have been getting in touch today. Here's a voice note from Shane.
Can I just say, Shane Laguna here, These Liverpool fans are making me laugh. I'm watching these this morning. What are they going to boo their own player who's been there for whatever, like 10 years, however long he's been there? Do you know what I mean? He's been there, he's won everything. He hasn't gone to another club in the Premier League. He's just gone to the biggest club in the world, in Real Madrid. This is what I'm saying about Liverpool fans. What are you so bitter for? Why are you hanging on to all that? Like, let him go. Wish him the best. You know what I mean? Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. You're saying all that about Trent, and look how Isak treated Newcastle. So, but you didn't say nothing about that, did you? Unbelievable.
I think Shane thinks it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can you see his point there? He very much doesn't think that Trent Alexander-Arnold should get a bad reaction.
Yeah, and listen, I think when you got someone that's not an actual Liverpool fan giving those views, you then have to see how they'd react if it was someone at their own club. But I kind of get it. I get it.
His point about him not going to a Premier League club, I suppose, he made lots of valid points, but that's a valid one. He hasn't gone, even gone to Manchester United, you know, something like that. He has gone to a different league.
And I've always been one as well, is that it's a two-way street here. There's no sort of massive uproar when a club doesn't offer a player a new contract. He fulfilled his contract. He fulfilled it in a special way, by the way. Like, certainly one of the elite right-backs in the Premier League, maybe of all time, if you look at his quality on the ball. So I kind of get what he's saying there. It's just taking yourself out of the Scousers, how they're feeling, is easy to do when you're an Arsenal fan down south. Sometimes you do have to be in it to kind of realise the feelings and emotions that will go, certainly for a passionate fan base. Yeah,
he won so many trophies. He's also the PFA Team of the Year 3 times as well. Liverpool Young Player of the Year twice as well as all those honours like winning the Premier League twice, winning the Champions League, etc. We've got another voice note from, this one's a Liverpool fan, Richard.
Morning, gentlemen. Quick one on Trent's return. I don't think Trent will start tonight. I think he'll be on the bench. When he comes on the pitch, he'll definitely get a big round of applause, but he can expect to get booed by some in the crowd. I won't boo him, but he will get booed by others in the crowd when he touches the ball. Let's just hope for a Reds win.
So I suppose he's saying you'll get clapped and booed, which you did say mixed reception. So.
Yeah, I think he's spot on. And I think that's how maybe it should be, because you don't want someone to get a massive reception and continuously be clapped when he's going against your team. I wouldn't like the whole stadium to be booing him when he's coming onto the pitch, or if he's starting every time he touched it, personally, just because of what he done for the football club. And no matter what you say, when you have a homegrown player, I think a lot of fans take those players to heart, and that might be why they're so disappointed in the manner in which he left. But I think that's even more reason to make sure that you do let him know that he is still a part of the club. And he said when he left that he'd always be a Red, he'd always be a Liverpool fan, and he's someone from the city. That's just the reason why I would like Liverpool fans to make sure that it's known that they do appreciate him. A little bit like it was at the end of the season when they booed him to let him know that they was unhappy with the decision he made and the manner in which he went about it. But then the reception he got at the end was fantastic, and I thought that was testament to the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, they applauded him there. Liverpool in general, what have you made of them? Because Arne Slot, last season, didn't change too much and they won the league. There was a lot of change in the summer, a lot of money spent, a lot of money earned as well. Did he try to change too much?
I think hindsight United now, we can all say, because they're going through a bad spell, that, oh yeah, he's changed too many. I think the amount of players that you change is always going to affect the rhythm and maybe the football club. But I think it was needed. I remember Carra talking about it a lot last year, that even though they'd won the league, that he felt that there was still a need for improvements in so many areas. And I think they went out and done that. Now, you do have to look at maybe the quality of recruitment that's come in. And that's not me having a pop at people like Richard Hughes. I think he's an outstanding person at his job and done wonders for Bournemouth and Liverpool. And I do think they'll come good. You just have to say that at the moment, it doesn't look like many of them have hit the ground running. But I think that you do have to look at the current players that were there last season and also say, why are you not performing? Because you can look at the players that, obviously, your Salahs and your Van Dijks that re-sign. But there's not many Liverpool players that you can say is performing at a top level this year. And I think those are the ones that are supposed to help the new players embed into the new system. Are they slightly more vulnerable defensively? Yes. Was Arne Slot hoping that there was going to be a little bit more of a fluent attacking threat? Probably. Especially when you spent that amount of money, you're always going to get scrutinised, and there's going to be plenty of judgment up and down the leagues and on shows like this. But for me personally, I think that there's been a drop-off from plenty of the players that were performing well last year, and I think they're just as culpable as the new signings.
Well, Sky Sports are partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan that QR code or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. Let's speak to Liverpool supporter Abigail Rudkin now. Abigail, when I saw your name in the rundown, I knew that Liverpool must have won their last game, and they did. So you are back, and it's great to see you. Right, but straight away, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's back as well. Would you boo him, and why?
I think I will boo him tonight, to be honest, and I'm sure a few people will judge me for that, but I'm going to boo every single Real Madrid player that goes on that pitch. I can't see him starting the game, but I'm going to boo all of them. We've lost Champions League finals to this team, and he's decided to go and play there. He's left Liverpool in probably the prime of his career to go and use those skills at Madrid rather than doing that for Liverpool when Liverpool have given him absolutely everything. Listen, when I saw him crying on the pitch last game of the season, I felt a little bit guilty. I felt a little bit bad to the fact that he'd felt so upset about it all, and he'd obviously had a mixed reception before that. But then when I go and watch him be introduced at Madrid and he speaks fluent Spanish, and I realise, right, he's left it right until the end to tell us that he's going, but he speaks fluent Spanish here. He's known for a long time.
Abigail, we can't keep... We had this with a previous caller. We can't keep blaming the lad for learning a language. And I know you're going to say that it meant that he was clearly planning to go there for a long time. He might just be a really fast learner and be great at learning Spanish, and has done it in a couple of weeks.
Well, it said in an interview that he did recently that he'd been learning for 5 months from what we've heard. So 5 months is a long time to be learning, considering we don't actually know that he's going to leave or not. So I don't know, maybe I'd have felt differently about it if I didn't grow up 15 minutes down the road from where he did and, see his career catapult at Liverpool and him turn into this amazing player that I just wanted to end up captain for the football club that I support. That's painful for all of us to now see him arrive as a Madrid player. And listen, there's photos going around on social media of his mural having some paint splattered on it and stuff like that this morning, whether that's a real photo or not, and we're not 100% sure, but it's all over the internet. And that's the anger these fans are feeling, these ones that are going to be in the ground tonight, a lot of them anyway. I'm sure there's some fans that'll still clap him and appreciate what he's done for the football club, but for me, it feels like a betrayal. They are our European rivals. We've had Champions League finals with this team where we've lost, and he's decided that that's where he wants to go. And I understand it's an exciting prospect to go and play there with Alonso, but as a Liverpool fan, especially now that we've lost a few games, we went through that phase of losing 6 and 7. I know we've just managed to win against Villa, but it feels a lot worse when you look at some of those games and you think he could have made a difference for the football club he supposedly loves. So I know I sound quite harsh, but there is just that feeling of betrayal still sitting inside of me, and I don't think he'll play I don't think he'll start tonight. He might come on, but I can't see him getting a good reception from most of the stands now.
Jody, Abigail says that they are Liverpool's European rivals, but we have just been saying that, that's a bit different, isn't it? Real Madrid is not... He hasn't gone to Manchester United, he hasn't gone to Chelsea. Throw Everton in there as well. He's gone to Real Madrid. Surely that's different.
I think so. And I'd have to say as well, hearing stuff about murals getting...
Yeah, I hope that's not real.
Chucked on and all, that's just nonsense for me. But I get the fans that are going to boo him. Like Abigail, I think she makes some good points there. And it's, like I said, it's still raw for some of the ones who loved Trent so much. But I think that when he's played and given his all for the club to the end of his contract, and he hasn't... It's not like he's asked to leave with 3 years left. I mean, people want to give players absolute pelters because they want to leave and go and join another club when they've still got 3 years left on their contract. He fulfilled his contract. Like,
yeah, but he let the contract run down, and we only got 10 million for him to be able to go to Madrid for that Club World Cup.
That's a player's prerogative, though,
and...
Abigail. That's a player's prerogative. Everyone thinks that you've got to be so loyal to a football club that you've got to make sure you get them the most amount of money and stuff like that. It's like the deal that if he could have left maybe a year before or 2 years before, he might not have wanted to leave Liverpool at that point. It might not have suited him. It might not have suited him to go abroad at that point. Like, players need to look after themselves and give their careers as much as they possibly can in the short space of time that they're playing. For someone to go and want to play for Real Madrid and to be absolutely lambasted pillar to post because he wants to go and play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, I get that there's an element of Liverpool fans should feel disappointed and gutted that he's gone to their rivals. But I think once the dust settles, I think you've got to go, listen, he's chose to go and play for the biggest club in the world for me.
And we don't know how I mean, could that be the owner's fault, Abigail, that his contract ran down? We don't know how hard they tried to give him a new one. We don't know if Trent Alexander-Arnold had said, I think I want to go at the end of my contract, then the owners could have sold him for money before that. It's not necessarily his fault. Is there any blame towards the owners?
Not for me, really, because from the reports that we heard, he got offered a lot of money. At the end of the day, he can win league titles at Liverpool. He can help Liverpool win more Premier League titles against our rivals. He can help us win the European Cup. But except tonight, he's going to be on the pitch for Madrid trying to achieve that for them instead of us. And that's just painful as a Liverpool fan. And listen, yeah, he could go and, get us some money and sign a new contract. But at the end of the day, he signed a 4-year deal. I think it was when some other players that renewed around the same time as him signed a 5-year deal. And it just, as Liverpool fans are looking back on it, a lot of us are feeling like it's very orchestrated, even though he sat and did interviews years ago saying, I want to be Liverpool's captain, I can't imagine myself being anywhere else. And it sort of sold this idea to all us Liverpool fans that pay money to go to the match and, support him every single week as this lad's going to be Liverpool captain one day. He wants to give everything for that shirt and he's one of us. This is the new Stevie G. This is the Scouse representation on the pitch. And he just decided that's not for him anymore. And I think that's just painful for us Liverpool fans. So I can't see him getting a good reception tonight. I understand if some people do want to clap him and give him that appreciation for what he has done. But when he hasn't got a Liverpool shirt on and he's got a Madrid shirt on and he's trying to beat my football team, I'm not going to start clapping him.
Well, I've got a scenario for you, Abigail. I'm going to offer you a victory away at Manchester City at the weekend, OK? But in order to get that, you've got to take a 1-0 defeat tonight with Trent Alexander-Arnold scoring the only goal. What would you take it?
Well, my priority is Liverpool Football Club winning football games, and we've been losing in the Premier League. We've just got that win against Villa, but City is a really scary game to come up against, and I want to win that game of football. At the end of the day, the whole Champions League format means we could probably afford to lose this game and still be in the Champions League going forward, after the league stage. So I've got to take a win for Liverpool. That's always going to be the priority for me. If he celebrated after he scored, I can't imagine what sort of reaction he'd get. But for me, it's always going to be Liverpool winning games of football. And if we have to lose this one tonight, City on the weekend, on Sunday, is a lot more important to me.
Yeah, sadly, I don't have the power to do that, but still, it was just a nice offer anyway. But how confident are you for tonight, just separately, away from Trent Alexander-Arnold, away from the Premier League? How confident are you that you can beat Real Madrid?
Well, the mood's lifted now. Everyone's feeling a lot more positive now. We've beat Villa. I know the whole 6 and 7 and all that just felt like an absolute mess, and everything felt disjointed and none of the players looked like they had fight in them on the pitch. But that Villa game's completely turned it for me now. The midfield look absolutely brilliant. Mo Salah looks like he's back. Van Dijk and Konate look back to their best. And I know that's only one game, but that's in my mind now to think that hopefully that's the confidence boost that we need to go forward in such a big week. To have Madrid and City in the space of 1 week, you needed to get a big win like that and get a clean sheet and get goals.
Abigail, do you think that defensively that you'll be equipped or to perform at the level to deal with what Real Madrid have to offer, and also City with Haaland at the moment? Because defensively you look extremely open and vulnerable, don't you?
Well, that's the concern. That's the massive concern for me for tonight and for Sunday. It is just whether Konate and Van Dijk can step up, never mind the full-backs. It depends if he starts Robertson or Kirk, how I'm going to feel about the whole thing. So I'm not feeling massively confident about it. I think if anything's going to happen, I think we'll still be able to score goals. But we can concede. If we perform the way we have for those 6 and 7, then I will be really disappointed. But I've just got the faith from that Villa game that we'll be able to go forward now, and the players will have that confidence boost. And, you know, Anfield atmosphere, under the lights, all that for Madrid tonight. It should be a good one, and hopefully we can help them do that.
Good luck, Abigail.